G'day everyone. I just want to have a chat to you guys a little bit about the land locations and some of the details that have come up here in the Satoshi Island legal docs, which go through how the island sale is going to be done. So what I wanted to have a chat mostly about is, the decision that we're going to have to make as a cooperative in terms of area. So the way the sale is going to be done is there's 7 areas. So 7 areas to choose from: South Wing, South Cliff, North Cliff, and then North Wing are these first 4 main ones. And then there's 3 more, a little bit smaller: East Cliff, Satoshi Island Central, and then you've got the entertainment zones, these small areas over here. So these are the 7 areas to choose from. So that's the potentially, yeah, that's the decision we have to make. Which area should we choose now? Depending on which area you choose, you'll get distributed lands with location traits that correspond with those lands. So say if you were to mint South Wing, so this is one of this was the one of the main areas, one of the first areas to be sold before the whole island was to go on sale. But if we were to mint South Wing, you can see there's a bunch of waterfront properties here, but there's also a bunch of properties sort of like the suburbs and streets stagnated at the back. Same here with South Cliff. There's a bunch of nice cliff face properties, but there's also a lot of rows and a lot of people here at the back without a view. We'll have a whole bunch of people in front of them. So if we look at North Cliff, same sort of situation here as South Cliff. But North Wing if is a little bit different. It's one of the most scarce sort of regions, with only 86 total blocks in North Wing, as opposed to 382, 418, 562 and these other ones. But there's only 2 actual areas that have ocean front. So South Wing is ocean front, North Wing is ocean front. There's no other actual properties around the island which are right on the ocean. East, if we look at East Wing down here, East Cliff, yeah, it's on a cliff, so it's on the cliff edge, so it's not actually waterfront. So East Cliff, this is all cliff edge. So if we look at oceanfront, as we can see, the locations with oceanfront traits are only North Wing and South Wing. So yeah, if you want an oceanfront trait, you'll have to look to North Wing, to South Wing. Now, if we're looking and chasing a bunch of lands with a front, we can potentially cliffs or ocean front are the 2 main fronts that you sort of that are going to be most valuable. But looking at the odds of, because if you choose something like North Cliff or South Cliff, then you've got a chance. It's these properties right here on the edge that are going to have the best view, and the ones behind it are all going to have people in front of them, houses in front of them, blocking the views. So ideally you really want to be the most front along here. So if we look at something like the potential or the odds when you mint in that area, the odds are, that you're going to mint this, right at the front over something more at the back, are much lower compared to if we look at something like North Wing, where, there's only, 2 rows of 4, there's only 86 blocks of land. So I think this will be one of the first to go, as, logically it provides you with the best odds at, getting a good front. And even if you aren't lucky enough to get, right on the first row there, you're still going to, you're guaranteed to be, really close to that water, a stone's throw away from that water, versus, if you were chasing something waterfront over here, you're nowhere near as likely to get something, right on the waterfront versus, back here a bit more. So if we we're chasing those waterfront lands. So, so North Wing is looking like a bit of an obvious sort of play, and I think it'll be one of the first to go if you can get in there and scoop it up, as it's one of the most exclusive. It's a bit out of the way, it's a bit more quiet. Potentially, it's a place where resorts or such may look to want to develop in that quiet nook, and facing the north, your all-day sun and views of the open ocean. So I think North Wing is going to be pretty a pretty good bet at looking at the other areas. So yeah, entertainment zones, this is going to be more for, people looking to looking for those, probably to do businesses and all that sort of stuff closer to the hub of the islands. But yeah, having a bit of a chat to the power backers. Seems they have reached consensus on the idea of looking for that oceanfront. They'd like some of the oceanfront properties, and the best chances or the best odds of that look to be around the North Wing. But I want to know what you guys think. Is there any other ideas or any other suggestions that we can take in? So logically, doing the research, I think it's pretty obvious that North Wing, is going to give you the best odds. But yeah, if you wanted a good location and something that's pristine, so 7 different locations and location traits. So you decide which location you will mint a bunch of lands with those location traits. So if we look at something like North Wing, this is how it will look. If we decided North Wing, we mint deeds. We mint deeds to North Wing, and then once we reveal those deeds, that will show us the traits. Now, the traits, it's basically going to be a 50-50 because we are getting 6 lands. So the way that works is if we buy 6, it's going to mint us a 2x3. So we'll have a 2x3 block. So if we look here, because we're getting a 2x3, it's really only a 50-50 whether we end up on the left side and oceanfront or the right side and the ocean side. So yeah, let's look down at the different locations. So you can see North Wing. If we look at North Wing, it's made up of 2 sections. It's made up of oceanfront and it's made up of oceanside. So oceanside, oceanfront. So it's really a 50-50. We're going to mint our 6 lands and it's going to be, 6 lands with oceanfront trait. Or if we're quick enough to get into, North Wing, because I think North Wing will be one of the quickest to go. So we have to be sure that we're, on the money and get fast. And having a bit of a chat to Dennis, he's going to ensure that we can, access is going to be given to those who mint the most lands or have the most, or have the most involved with the project or allocate the most capital. So we'll see how that goes, but essentially will be oceanfront or oceanside. So yeah, oceanside, and total oceanside property traits includes 476 blocks. So but the North Wing only includes these 40 or so blocks. It's the South Wing which make up the most of it, and then the valuable oceanfront of only there is 172 blocks, and those oceanfront blocks can only be found in South Wing and North Wing. So breaking it down, North Wing looks like to give the best odds if you want a front, that front being waterfront. The other front you'd want to chase is cliff front, but the odds aren't as good there, providing you've got all of these surrounding bummy back end suburb sort of lands to compete with. So yes. Buying together will give us that 2x3. So, by ensuring we've got that 2x3, it's really going to be a 50-50. Are we right by the water and can we build our properties, going over the ocean a little bit? Or are we, just a row back from the water and essentially a stone's throw from the water anyway, which is ideally where you want to be, to the north and whatnot. So yes, that's what we have to think about. And going over to, there's some really good concept art or renderings which show just what those waterfront, if we are if we do get lucky enough on that 50-50, if we're directly waterfront or if we're waterside, there's some really cool renderings. And chatting to Dennis, this is actually going to be possible to build exactly like these are shown in the way of them extending out past the water. So this will be really cool. Where is the gallery here? Here it is. So yeah, if we find there's some really cool ones tie it in, sort of a cool idea, which would be nice to do. I was chatting with the power backers on it, and yeah, and it seems like a pretty cool thing. So something like this, and you would put a little ladder going down into the water. Because we're facing at the north, you've got that all day sun coming in, so always perfect conditions just to dive off your balcony into the water. You'll have a ladder going here to get straight back up, and essentially, if we're lucky enough, we'll have three water properties right by the water's edge, and then the three there behind on the other side. So we'll have the premium properties, and then we can do something with the other ones, and the other areas in front of that which connect to the road. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. And then there was another one which sort of gives the inside view looking out. So this is, yeah, sort of like the inside view looking out, and then your ladder would be down here, and you just wake up in the morning, open the door, and just run and just dive off your balcony into the water. So that would be the go. And, or potentially we can, yeah, build like a double story and have a nice balcony lookout over there, and also have build out over the water, and have the ladder. So yeah, have a double story, have a balcony, ladder, and yeah, hopefully it's deep enough to do backflips off the second level into the water. And yeah, so yeah, that's what potentially we can look at, and having a bit of a chat to power backers. So the structure, the way the sale turned out, and if we look back to SIG Fund website, the way the governance structure worked out, we try to do a bit of a democratic vote, or a meritocracy, where where one token doesn't necessarily equal one vote, but you have a votes as stagnated in sort of levels or tranches. So yeah, the way it turned out, we had a lot of power backers who invested over, no one bought the 15 NFTs with 6 times voting power. Majority of people, yeah, either got the 5 or the 30. So the way the voting works is, 450 of the shares, that are in public hands, about 300 out of the 450, over 300 of them are in the hands of the power backers. About 2/3 of the shares are in power backers' hands. Or if we break it down in terms of voting power, there's about 156 votes in the public's hands, and power backers hold 102 of those 156. So if consensus is reached amongst the power backers, and the big backers of the fund, then it's essentially that's what it is. So if consensus isn't reached amongst the power backers who hold the 30 NFTs or more, then we go down and see where consensus is at, tapping into, because there's no one in this tranche, tap into the 5 NFT tranches and see where consensus is at there, and what these guys want to do. But yes, essentially, yeah, we have a bit of a decision to make, where. So we have a bit of a decision to make in terms of, yes, which location do we want to go? This is the one I wanted, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, which location do we want to go? I mean, using logic, I think it's pretty obvious, but I mean, I want to ask you guys, and if you have any suggestions or anything like that, let us know. And yeah, but essentially we've got a stream coming up with Dennis tonight at 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time, or in about exactly about 7 hours and 10 minutes from now. So jump in, answer any questions that you may have. But yeah, the land sale's coming up, and ideally, I think the game plan is, and where so far it seems consensus is leaning, is yeah, North Wing. We chase North Wing, and we chase those ocean front, or at least ocean side. As we have access to get first pick of the bunch, essentially. It's like, yeah, well, why wouldn't you try and find the best and go for the best, instead of yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that this is going to be one of the best areas, secluded, north facing, waterfront, or very close to waterfront, versus all these areas might be a bit more busy and louder, and yeah. So let me know what you guys think, and until otherwise, yeah, I'll see you guys tonight in 7 hours when we chat in the Telegram group, and chat with Dennis, and yeah, go a bit more into depth around some of this, if or anything else. So yeah, grab some beers and rock up, and yeah, we'll have a beer and kick back and have a chat. So cheers, guys. Until tonight, we'll talk soon. See ya.